Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that hole I was telling you about.
When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
It happened in plain sight, broad daylight, just steps away from the very courthouse where the entire nation was fixated on the Sean Diddy Combs trafficking trial. Gene Deal, once Diddy's trusted bodyguard and now his loudest, most dangerous critic, was ambushed outside the building in what witnesses are calling a calculated, cold-blooded takedown. The timing, too precise. The message, too obvious. This happened just days after Diddy miraculously dodged a RICO charge that could have put him away for life. And suddenly, the man exposing Bad Boy's darkest secrets was violently shut down, not in court, but on the pavement. There's no official footage, just blurry cell phone clips and scattered frantic witness reports that lit up social media. Within hours, one YouTuber said Deal knocked someone out. Another claimed he got laid out, but forget the noise. What's left is pure chaos. No statement from Diddy's camp. No clarification. Just silence. And Deal. He mysteriously vanished from the courthouse list, with sources claiming he was told not to return for several days. No charges, no updates, just a disappearance. Call it coincidence if you want, but
prosecution did that whole thing. They went through that whole gambit. Ain't nobody paying nobody no money if they ain't guilty of nothing. Not him. It was a lot of things that the prosecution did their job into showing us.
It feels like a public hit, cloaked in street theater. Brutal warning that not even sunlight makes you safe when you're exposing giants. Let's not forget who Gene Deal really is. For years, he wasn't just Diddy's bodyguard, he was the shadow behind the shadow, managing entrances, exits, and secrets. But ever since switching sides, Deal has been on a one-man mission to blow up what he calls Diddy's empire of manipulation. He's claimed everything from party planning to hush money to coded security ops were part of a bigger pattern. In his own words, I was protecting the body. I didn't know I was protecting the beast. And now, just as the world begins to look beneath the velvet carpets of Bad Boy's kingdom, Deal gets yanked out of the game right after Diddy slips past the most serious charge of his career. You don't need to wear a tinfoil hat to see this, you just need a calendar dot, and if things weren't already explosive, look at what happened next. Cat Williams stepped in. Yes, that cat. The man who torches egos for breakfast and turned down Diddy's party invites like he was swatting flies. I've turned down $50 million 4 times to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I told y'all about. Hours after Deal's alleged takedown, Cat posted a cryptic video warning that the reckoning wouldn't come from the courts, it'd come from the streets. He shared an AI spoof showing Diddy's face on a courtroom snitch from New Jack City, with the caption, "Diddy about to snitch on everybody." Not just jokes, this is theatrical warfare. And now insiders say Cat and Deal might be teaming up for a project that could detonate everything, encircling that rumor like a shark. 50 Cent, beef-seeking, power-snatching. 50. If those three join forces, it's not content. It's an airstrike. And there's another whisper that makes insiders squirm. Diddy's Silent Squad. Some say it's not metaphorical. Former staffers and junior execs have pointed to a covert operation that's been quietly stomping out leaks for years. One assistant who fled the industry in 2020 claimed people who start talking end up with NDAs, cash settlements or scars. Pick your ending, they said. A former road manager swears he saw internal emails referencing a containment budget. And there was a list. Guess whose name was in bold? Gene Deal. Now, let's be clear. Deal's no choir boy. He's dodged plenty of questions about his own role in Diddy's freak-offs and years of silence. But whatever he's revealing now has been loud enough to provoke a response, and someone made sure that response was public, physical, and chilling. Because if this is Diddy's cleanup crew, this ain't their first sweep, and it won't be their last. Gene himself once said, "The things I experienced with him were monstrous. It almost destroyed my life." But now the conversation moves beyond bruises and fists. Where does Diddy's real power move isn't his money. It's not even his legal team. It's his blackmail vault. Yeah, that vault. A rumored collection of videos, recordings, and documents supposedly stashed away for leverage against celebrities, execs, politicians, and even media power players who ever dared step foot in his infamous parties. Parties where phones were banned. Privacy was a myth, and every move was recorded on purpose. They called them Wild King Nights. Nights where Diddy and his selected guests would retreat to a hotel suite or a bedroom at his home for intimate gatherings. Gene Deal claims he used to prep those rooms. Baby oil, Astroglide, the works. And guess what federal investigators reportedly found during those LA and Miami raids? Thousands of bottles of oil, designer pills, camera gear. When asked, Diddy's Lawyer laughed it off with a Costco joke, but even Costco clapped back. We don't sell baby oil in bulk. That was no spa day setup. That was something darker. And if cameras were rolling, what exactly does Diddy have on those people? Worse, what does he still have? Because if that vault exists, then this isn't just about keeping Diddy from prison. It's about protecting everyone in those tapes. People with billion-dollar brands, people in government, people with the power to crush reputations in a heartbeat. So when someone like Gene Deal gets knocked out of circulation right as the pressure peaks, you have to wonder, was it protection for a whole corrupted system? Because in this game, if you speak out, you don't just risk getting sued. Backing Gene Deal, collaborating with Cat Williams, or even echoing any anti-Diddy narrative has now become a high-risk ACT warrant that could cost you more than just a reputation. A retired publicist who now lives abroad said it plainly. They're not scared of court. They're scared of the tapes. Gene Deal's message has always been deeper than gossip. He tells young men it's okay to be positive, to avoid the street life, to break the cycle. But what happens when that message threatens the wrong people? What if his attack wasn't a finale but the first domino? The industry's drawing lines. Friends are going quiet. The middle ground is vanishing. Deal says he's not afraid. Cat's cracking jokes, sharp enough to bleed. And 50 Cent, he's reportedly buying domain names connected to the vault's nickname, accident, or a warning that something big is coming. See, a lot of people online forget Gene Deal wasn't just muscle. He was law enforcement, a New York parole officer, a security boss. He ran Eastchester Housing, Tiana Towers, clubs, investigations, you name it. So if he's saying the vault exists and insiders back him up, then the explosion hasn't even started. Multiple ex-staffers say Diddy's infamous freak nights weren't parties, they were operations. Color-coded wristbands, state-to-state guest transfers, rooms sealed off from regular surveillance, and NDAs thicker than any celebrity prenup. These weren't Hollywood rakers, they were blackmail factories. One former producer even called them Sin City simulations. Guests didn't realize they were being recorded until it was too late, and the names being whispered. 2 Grammy winners, a Marvel alum, 2 late-night hosts, and a studio exec who's gone radio silent since March. We can't say what they did, but if even one of those tapes leaks, careers are over. And not just reputations, we're talking federal indictments, jail time, which raises another layer of chaos. Some of the people allegedly caught on tape, they're rumored to be cooperating now, not for justice but out of fear. They're flippant because they're terrified of what's still hidden, and that fear, currency. If Diddy really holds this vault, he could use it as a shield or a sword. That might explain why some celebrities have suddenly ghosted him after years of public loyalty. They didn't switch sides, they lost leverage. And this brings us back to Cat Williams, not as a joke machine, but a truth teller with a kill switch. For years, his rants were laughed off. But now, people are starting to rewatch his old clips like their court testimony. All the big-name deviants catching hell in 2024. He warned in January. They laughed. Nobody's laughing now. Not after he posted visuals of Diddy as a snitch with Cat watching quietly in the background. Satire, maybe, or coded warning. Sources close to Cat say he's sitting on stories and evidence he's never dared to share until now. Off-record hush deals. Hidden intermediaries, conversations that never made it into depositions. Combine that with Gene's first-hand knowledge and 50 Cent's digital power moves. This isn't just a takedown. This could be the most dangerous expose alliance in hip-hop history. Still, even with all of Gene Deal's firepower, not everyone's sold on his sudden hero arc. After all, he was there deep inside the empire. For nearly 2 decades, he guarded the gates. He ran security for freak nights, prepped the rooms, cleared the exits, and enforced the silence. So now that the ship's sinking, some are asking, is Gene telling the truth, or trying to rewrite his role before someone else writes it for him? Several insiders have already cast doubt. He wasn't a bystander. He wasn't an intern. He was the one controlling the access. Gene Deal wasn't just escorting VIPs through velvet ropes. He was allegedly escorting people out of rooms when things got ugly. And now, he's rewriting history. A former bad boy assistant from the early 2000s told an industry blogger that Gene didn't just know, he managed the madness. Yet he now claims he never saw the worst. Others say his silence was the cover. And now the story is flipping. Everyone's pointing fingers at Gene. But it's not just what he says, it's what he won't. A TikTok video that went viral shows Deal being asked about a 2004 party involving underage guests, one of whom has since filed a lawsuit. Gene's response: silence. He froze, dodged the question, and walked into the courthouse like it never happened. For someone supposedly on a mission to expose truth, that moment screamed deflection. Comment sections exploded. Was this a slip, or the first crack in his whistleblower armor? And that's not the only red flag. Gene talks about the freak-off culture like it was someone else's department. Always vague, always distant. But recent civil suits mention staffers who handled guest transitions between floors, and those staffers allegedly reported directly to him. So why won't he own it? Why stay on payroll if you knew something was off? And why only speak up after the wall started crumbling? For someone who claims to have tried warning people for years, his actual timeline feels ... convenient ... even. Diddy's harshest critics are torn. Some say, Deal should be protected, he saw it all, and made it out alive. Others call him a calculated opportunist. His book drops, his YouTube spikes. Media deals in the pipeline. Is this a redemption arc or a survival move before someone else writes his ending? You can't deny his insights, but his hands aren't clean. In this kind of story, even the loudest truth-tellers might be hiding skeletons. And 50 Cent. Don't let the memes fool you, he's playing chess. Trademark filings, digital receipts, and rumor has it he's bankrolling a docuseries about the fall of the empire. We've heard from 2 editors who were pitched freelance work. The project isn't just pulling music, sources it's reaching into fashion, nightlife, even media boardrooms. 50 isn't just trolling, he's building a war room. And if it drops, it won't just dent reputations, it could obliterate them. But Diddy's machine won't fall without a fight. Sources say his rumored blackmail vault holds secrets that could silence executives, destroy artists, and vaporize billion-dollar brands. These aren't just stories, they're threats. According to insiders, whistleblowers are now walking targets. If Gene Deal's public takedown was a message, it won't be the last. A former bad boy assistant who fled the country said it best. If those tapes leak, people will start disappearing online or in real life. Diddy beat the RICO charge, but, observers said his demeanor shifted. He wasn't relieved, he was recalculating. He didn't celebrate. He scanned the room, checked who was still loyal, and now, former insiders are jumping ship. Cat Williams is tightening his grip on the mic, and Diddy's old allies are suddenly playing dumb. Social media profiles are wiped. Publicists are ghosting. Business partners are hitting the no comment button like their life depends on it. And Diddy, he's not sweating, he's strategizing. A shell company just got registered in Delaware under a nickname linked to Bad Boy's internal paperwork. Legal experts say this isn't a coincidence. It's a fallback plan, a rebrand, maybe even the launchpad for a counterattack. Because if the vault really exists, and he controls its release, Diddy could flip the narrative from hunted to hunter, from the accused to the accuser. It's risky, but that's the game he's always played. This isn't a scandal. It's a reckoning. The real question now, not who's guilty, but who's going to survive the fallout. Because if Diddy's world really runs on manipulation, leverage, and blackmail, then how far will he go to keep it from falling? How many secrets are buried behind those luxury party invites and those NDA-covered floors? And the million-dollar question, if the vault opens, whose name is on the first tape? Let us know what you think in the comments. Who's next to fall? Who's about to vanish? Subscribe to stay locked in, because in this story, one blink, and you might miss the moment the empire collapses. Stay safe, stay curious, and above all, stay sharp.